So I'm here to introduce the scanning portion of the Scangraphix CARES 5.0 application. What I'm holding in my hand is the CS1504 thumb-sized barcode scanner. You'll notice that it's very small, it's very portable. This can be put on a lanyard around a staff member's neck. It can be put on a belt clip so that it's handy for staff members to use. Now, what this does is it reads the barcodes that are generated through the program. If you're looking at how to generate these barcodes specifically, you can go to the help section that is labeled printing barcodes. As a note, these barcodes print out to what are standard address-sized labels. The idea is that you can create any type of custom system for tracking behavior, or if you want to simply print them out to a standard sheet of paper, you can do that as well. There is a setup within the system that allows you to print an entire page of simply names or simply behaviors. But again, that is outlined more extensively in the print barcode section. As a staff member utilizing the system, what you're going to do is you're going to scan a person's name. So there I've scanned the person's name. The system also has a setup that allows you to scan for intensity and duration. It's your choice whether you want to use these fields. The only mandatory field would be the name and the behavior, the skills acquisition, the restraint, or the other data that you're keeping. So we've scanned Josh Kensington. Let's scan a very low intensity. 6 minutes, so 1 minute, 5 minutes to yield 6 minutes. And let's say that this was an inappropriate sexual behavior. So we go ahead and scan that. Now just to let you know, you would normally not go this slow. Let's go ahead and scan another record. And another record, just to give you an idea of how quickly this can go. The idea is that your staff members are spending much more time with the individuals and less time putting in data and writing down information. Now, once you have scanned in the data, the scanner holds 166 separate scans. So each incident, you would scan the person's name would be one scan, the behavior or item being tracked would be one scan, the number of scans that you do per duration, each one is one scan. Once it adds up to 166, you must download the data off of the scanner. You can also download at any time during that process. What you're going to do then is you'll have a standard computer, laptop, any type of computer that has a USB port. You hook up the cord into the USB port, and then there's a small clip at the other end that plugs right into the scanner. Once you plug the scanner in, the system goes in and recognizes that the scanner has been plugged in, and now it's going to be looking for information. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Download Barcodes button. When you hear that beep, it tells you that the scanner has responded to the request from the computer and it's downloaded the barcodes. Once this has happened, you can go ahead and change any piece of information. So let's say that we decide this was not an inappropriate sexual behavior on Josh's part. It was an elopement. So we go ahead and change that data. You can change the date, the time, the duration. Another thing to note is that each scan is time and date stamped. So the computer itself keeps track of when these incidents occur. When you scan in for duration, as in this case where the duration was 6 minutes long, the system goes back and automatically compensates for when the incident began. The assumption being that you would rather your teachers, your staff members, were taking care of the incidents as they occur and then documenting later. The system allows them to do that very easily. So there's a time and a date stamp as well. Once these barcodes have been downloaded, then you go in and you click on Save Barcodes, which is the next button over. Now, it says, clear data from the scanner. Records have been saved. It is recommended that you now clear the scanner to avoid duplicates. What this allows you to do is you can take the same scanner and download it onto multiple systems, even if they're not networked. You do, however, have to be very careful that you don't end up downloading duplicate records onto the same computer. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and tell it it's okay to clear the scanner. The scanner is now cleared, and it's ready for the next set of data to be scanned in.
3, 2, 1, go.
The Scangraphix and Care system is designed to capture several different types of information. It captures frequency data, it captures duration data, it captures intensity data. It's also available to use for session data, where the resulting information is graphed in a rate per minute. So you would go in, you scan the person's name, and then you would scan the type of behavior as many times as it occurred within the time frame that you were doing the session. And then you would scan end session, at which point it would time and date stamp the original scan, time and date stamp the end scan, and then produce a rate per minute graphing format, which would allow the clinician or the QMRP or the other professionals to take a look at rate per minute of behavior and allow you to compare even different length sessions. The other data that is captured within the Scangraphix system is sleep data. Each different person can be set up to yield a barcode that is awake, asleep, or in the restroom, and it's specific to each person, so there's only one scan per record. One of the ways that we've recommended using this is, for instance, if you have an individual who, this would be Josh Kensington's room, for example, you would put awake, asleep, and restroom on his door, so that as the staff member goes past, they walk up, they check to see how he's doing. You can even put these on his bedpost or somewhere else in the room, but then the staff member has to go through and scan, for instance, awake. Now, this is time and date stamped, so when it's downloaded into the system, it tells you how often staff are doing the regulatory sleep checks. For instance, in an ICFMR, it's often 15 minutes that staff members need to go through and check to see whether everyone's awake or asleep. Of course, the next time around, they would scan asleep or in the restroom, whatever the correct position of the person is. And of course, you would go plug the scanner into the computer, click on download barcodes. It also requires that you put in the name of the person scanning the data so that you have some type of, or the facility has a way of holding people accountable for the times that they are responsible for these checks. So I'll go ahead and click OK. And now I have a record, of information, not only of whether the person was asleep or awake or how often they were using the restroom on average throughout the night, but I also have a record of what my staff members were doing during that time frame to make sure that they're meeting CMS and other regulations. Here's 5 system. Of course, for information on other topics, please see the other help files included in this CD. If you have any questions, go to our website at www.nexusgate.com, or feel free to give us a call at 507-275-2005. Thank you.